Today, I would like to read some parts of some different books about interesting facts. We have several books in our library at Whittier that just give interesting facts because kids like you often ask the question, why, or how come, or how does this happen? So we have books in the library that answer those questions. This book is called Ask Me Why: Which Plant Eats Meat? And I love nonfiction books because nonfiction books, you don't have to start at the beginning and go all the way to the end. You can actually go to the table of contents at the beginning and find something that looks interesting right here. So on page 4, can plants grow as tall as skyscrapers? Or if I come down here to page 22, which plant is full of baby frogs? I think I'm going to go to that page right here. Oh, so if I turn to this page, lots of pictures in this book. Which plant is full of baby frogs? Interesting word. I think you pronounce it. Bromeliads are rainforest plants that grow high up on tree branches. Their spiky leaves make a bucket shape that fills up with rainwater. So see it right here? This little pool is just right for a tree frog nursery. As they grow up, the baby frogs eat the insects that fall into the water. So that answers that question. Which plant is full of baby frogs? Let's see other questions that I marked in my book here. I went to this page because this is the title of the book, Which Plant Eats Meat? I thought that would be an interesting question to read. Any insect that lands on a Venus flytrap leaf is in for a nasty surprise. The leaf snaps shut like a pair of jaws, trapping the insect inside. The flytrap covers its victim in special juice so that the insect's body dissolves. Then it soaks up the delicious insect soup. The leaves open again, and the insect's leftover tough wings and skeleton blow away. It takes the plant about 10 days to digest one meal. So a Venus flytrap, and a nice illustration of a Venus flytrap there. I've got my captions here, my titles. Let's see what else we've got. Ooh, which tree swells up like a balloon? Water is rare in the desert, so boobabs keep a store in their trunks. When it rains, they suck in water and swell up to twice their normal size. They shrink as the trees use up the stored water. So look at how it blows up there, storing water, kind of like a camel does it in its humps, huh? So that's that book. Let's see, I've got another one. Ask Me Why. Which bug uses a torch? I think I bookmarked 2 pages in here, maybe 3. Here's one. Which giant insect looks like a twig? The giant insect from Indonesia has a long the giant stick insect from Indonesia has a long brown or green body and legs held out at different angles, making it look like a twig or a branch. This makes it hard for hungry birds to see it. The stick insect is the longest insect on Earth, growing to almost 33 centimeters or 13 inches long. That's about the length from your elbow to your fingertips. That's how big that bug is. See, I marked one down here too, talking about length. The longest earthworm, the longest earthworm can grow to 6 meters or 20 feet. That's as long as 4 bicycles. Could you imagine getting a worm that long that is as long as 4 bicycles? Crazy. I bookmarked a couple more pages here. I've got one. Oh, this was interesting. I read a cricket does not have ears on its head. They are on its front legs instead. The ears are tiny holes with skin stretched over them. So their ears are actually on their legs. And I think I had one more in here. Which insect can walk on water? The pond skater can. It rows itself along with its 4 back legs. The surface of the water is covered in a thin skin. But the pond skater does not sink. It has pads of waxy hair on its legs that push away the water. The pond skater needs to move quickly to catch its food. It eats other insects that fall into the water and get trapped in the surface skin. Interesting. I also have some books called Time for Kids, a big book of why, because kids love to ask why. I think I bookmarked 2 things here. Like, how can you stop the hiccups? Sometimes people eat or drink so fast or get so excited that they begin to hiccup. Human hiccups when something Humans hiccup when something causes the diaphragm to spasm. The diaphragm is the large muscle that separates the thorax, the part of the body that contains your lungs and your heart, from the abdomen, which is the part of the body that contains the stomach and intestines. This spasm causes you to take a breath which is suddenly stopped when the vocal cords close. The result is a hiccup. But how do you stop hiccups? There is no sure way to cure them, but you can try holding your breath for 30 seconds, then exhaling gradually. Let's see, I think I marked another one here. About basketball. Why is a basketball orange? Paul Tony Hinkle was a college basketball coach who invented the orange basketball. Until the late 1950s, basketballs were actually dark brown. Hinkle said fans and players had a hard time seeing the ball, and so he designed an orange basketball. Then I also had one here called True or False. This book's interesting because it asks you a question at the top. And it says, like this one here says, true or false? The brain's left side of the body controls the body's right side. And then it gives you the answer. You're a bundle of nerves. That's because the brain and spinal cord use billions of nerve cells to send instructions around the body. The brain's left side controls the body's right side. So that answer is true. The brain's left side controls the body's right side. So this one is full of true or false answers. And then the last one that I wanted to show you, just a really cute little book called Weird But True. And there's some interesting facts in here. Like a spider in Australia breathes underwater and eats toads. Alicia. Or sociable weavers build apartment nests that can house up to 500 birds. So here's actually a nest that can house 500 birds. I think I had one more thing in here. Oh, some rattlesnakes in the Grand Canyon are actually pink. I had never heard of that before. So that's just a sampling of all sorts of books that I have in the library. I probably have 20 or 30 of these books that are interesting facts about things.